Welcome back into the Sports Source, this segment of our program, brought to you by Madisonville Marine. Folks, coming up March 8th through the 11th, it's the Downtown Knoxville Boat Show. Folks from Madisonville Marine will be there with all kinds of boats, including G3, tons of models of G3. Right now, and this is leading up to the boat show as well, right now at Madisonville Marine, you can get up to $1,500 in rebates on select models of G3 and Suncatcher boats. And if you are active or retired military, that includes National Guard, G3 will tack on an additional up to $1,000 rebate, military appreciation rebate. That's up to $2,500 off of a G3 or Suncatcher boat right now if you're active or retired military, depending on the model you get through Madisonville Marine. Folks, get down there and check them out. Highway 411 North in Madisonville. There's no better place to buy a boat. All right, want to welcome in someone who owns a G3 from Madisonville Marine, Bob Hodge. Bob, thanks for being here.
Glad to be here.
Now you get to sit there and listen to Josh talk to us.
Yes.
Josh, tell us, our recruiting guru here, a couple minutes. Tell us how the Vols are closing as we get close to signing day on Wednesday.
Yeah, National Signing Day is just a few days away, and Tennessee goes into the final few days here still in the mix for a number of very highly touted prospects, and I think that's probably what has stood out to me over the last almost 2 months since Jeremy Pruitt and his coaching staff took over. Is they quickly got in the picture with a four-star linebacker, four-star, five-star guy in Quay Walker, who is looking at Alabama where he's been committed and then Georgia where he's visiting this weekend. Wide receiver Jacob Copeland from Pensacola, Florida. Immediately Tennessee entered the picture with him when he's also considering Alabama and Florida. Elijah Griffin, who considered Alabama and USC. Those are big name schools that Tennessee immediately started competing with to try to get those players. Isaac Taylor Stewart's the latest. He's visiting this weekend, a five-star corner from San Diego, California. Jeremy Pruitt and his staff have gotten Tennessee in the picture. They landed J.J. Peterson, who also favored Alabama. You notice kind of a trend there. There's also an incredible amount of unknown heading into the final 3, 4, 5 days before signing day. And I think a lot of us wondered, with the early signing period, would that take away the intrigue of the last couple of weeks? And I don't know how every year is going to be, but this year with Tennessee, 4, 5, 6 spots left in the class, John, it could go a number of different ways with all of those prospects, plus tight end Glenn Bill, defensive lineman Otito, whose last name I don't want to say on TV because I'll mispronounce it, running back Jayshon Corbin. It's a long list that Tennessee is in the mix with just a few days to go.
So you're saying, to keep things interesting, Tennessee change football coaches every year and start all over in mid-December with a new recruiting class.
They would keep Sports Talk Radio.
Yeah, getting there anyway. This Wednesday, follow Josh and the team over at Sports Radio WNML all day long. You can follow our buddy Ryan Callahan and the online folks, GoVols247.com, and of course stick with the 6 Sports team right here on WATE. And the next Sunday, part of our show is going to be a complete wrap-up of signing day. That's next Sunday right here. I've often said on the show that recruiting rankings are more of a compass than a GPS. You can't factor in that this guy will be a 5-star, this guy will play as a 4-star. You can get an idea, though, depending on how many 5-stars you get. You can get a general idea of the direction you're headed in. Okay, I think that applies here. Let's take a look at the Super Bowl starters today and what their star rankings were coming out of high school. 5 stars on these two teams. There's 44 starters total. 6 of them were 5 stars. 5 for the Eagles, only 1 for the Patriots. 4 stars, 7 for the Eagles, 4 for the Patriots. Clearly, the Eagles have more talent. 3 stars, 7 for the Eagles, 12 for the Patriots. 2 stars, and then guys who weren't even ranked. You get 8 of those guys out of the starting lineup. Now, you're always going to have a bell curve because, in reality, there are more kids getting 3 stars than anything else. But this plays right into it. And let's take a look at who those 2 and 0-star guys are. The 2 stars are Patrick Chung of New England and Vinnie Curry for the Eagles. Both those guys start. And then look at all the starters that got nothing. Malcolm Butler, Chris Hogan was a lacrosse player, Alandon Roberts, Joe Tooney, Jason Kelsey, and Lane Johnson. All those guys, back in the day, people would have gone, why don't you get them? Yawn. So it can be a little misleading. Bob, as you take a drink, I'm going to ask you the question. Does this change your view at all of the recruiting rankings? Does it reinforce them at all?
Well, I mean, it's always been, it lines up pretty well with yours. I think that if you're sitting there looking, if you can sign nothing but 4 and 5 stars, you're going to be a pretty good college football team because you're not going to miss on all of them. I think it was interesting that during the Butch Jones era, Tennessee got several 5 stars, most of which never really panned out to too much of anything. And I think that you can go too far if you're a program, let's say Tennessee, in the middle right now, maybe a little bit worse, and you're promising these guys, you come here and you're going to start immediately, you're going to play, you're ready to go, and it doesn't work out, then I think it hurts you. But I do think, yeah, you load up on 4 or 5 stars, it translates into wins. If you pick a 5-star receiver over a 3-star receiver, or get them both, okay, it's kind of, let's see who gets better. So, no, I think you're right. More compass than GPS.
All right, very good. We'll let Mike and Chuck talk in the next segment. When we go back to basketball, how is Tennessee doing in the RPI, and how tough is their schedule RPI-wise? It's pretty impressive, actually. We'll show you that. Also get a scouting report on Kentucky and Alabama. The team's been playing great. Rough week ahead. Come on back on the Sports Source.